Welcome to African Today, the voice of a changing continent. We bring you the stories shaping Africa's present and future, from breaking news and bold analysis to culture, innovation, and voices on the ground. We're here to inform, inspire, and amplify the heartbeat of Africa every single day. Thank you for stopping by the channel. We hope you enjoy our video. Let's begin. Storm clouds gathering. South Africa's economy finds itself under intense pressure due to swiftly escalating tariffs from the United States. Effective August 1, 2025, the U.S. is set to impose a 30% tariff on South African goods, a move described by central bank chief Lesetja Kganyago as potentially costing 100,000 jobs, especially in agriculture and automotive sectors. Additionally, exports like citrus, table grapes, wine, vehicles, and component parts face severe setbacks, with some forecasts projecting up to 200,000 job losses if trade preferences disappear. Diplomatic frictions in U.S. relations. Relations between Pretoria and Washington have become strained. Trade envoy Mechabisi Jonas was reportedly denied a U.S. visa, and DA officials unilaterally engaged with U.S. politicians, leading to internal coalition disputes. The contentious Oval Office meeting on May 21, 2025, saw heated exchanges over land reform and aid cuts, culminating in discontinued U.S. aid and broader diplomatic chill. Economic fallout and growth risks. Economists warn of a pullback in South Africa's GDP growth. Surveys show downgrades to around 1.2% for 2025, down from prior expectations, driven by both tariff shocks and domestic constraints. Unemployment remains alarmingly high, recorded at 32.9%, 43.1% broader measure in early 2025, and tariffs threaten to erode fragile recovery efforts. Pivot to regional resilience via AfCFTA. The continent's response has crystallized around the African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA, viewed as a shield against global shocks. Though signed by 49 nations, only 24, including South Africa and Nigeria, are actively trading under AfCFTA protocols. Intra-African trade is growing. Exports rose by 12.4% in 2024, and the World Bank estimates this could further increase by 81% under full implementation. However, implementation is hampered by infrastructure gaps costing over $100 billion annually, logistical inefficiencies, governance issues, and slow adoption of local currency settlement systems. African leaders stress they must rely increasingly on themselves. "We are on our own as a continent," said AfCFTA Secretary General Wamkeli Mene. Policy responses: monetary easing and fiscal rebalance. In response to mounting pressure, South Africa's Reserve Bank cut the benchmark repo rate by 25 basis points in May 2025 to 7.0 to 7.25%, signaling further easing to support domestic demand and cushion export losses. Meanwhile, fiscal politics have complicated reform. A multi-party government of national unity has collided over VAT increases, delaying budget processes and undermining investor confidence. Diversification imperative. Experts argue South Africa urgently needs to diversify trade partners beyond the U.S. Options under consideration include deeper ties with Asia, China, India, Europe, and increased regional flows via AfCFTA. Redirecting exports will require upgrading logistics, meeting new regulatory standards, and potentially accepting lower pricing in emerging markets. Risks and opportunities. Job and fiscal shocks. Sectors tied to exports, agriculture, automotive manufacturing, face disruption. Rural economies reliant on citrus and wine exports are particularly vulnerable. Currency pressure. As export revenues decline, the rand may weaken, projected to drop from 18 to 2021 per U.S., fueling inflation and raising import costs, threatening household purchasing power. Strategic renewal. Successful AfCFTA rollout and fiscal stability would enable South Africa to recapture momentum, turning inward-focused resilience into long-term competitiveness. Conclusion: a new trade paradigm. South Africa faces a watershed moment. The sharp turn in U.S. trade policy, capping access via AGOA and slamming tariffs, has forced the country to reconsider its economic model. With global support unclear and multilateral institutions weakened, South Africa and its continental peers are betting on AfCFTA, domestic structural reform, and regional integration as tools for survival. The imperative is clear: move beyond dependency, shore up domestic governance and infrastructure, diversify exports, and forge intra-African value chains, not as a fallback but as a foundational strategy for growth amid global instability. Only then can the phrase "we are on our own" evolve from resignation into a rallying cry for autonomy and transformation. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to help grow the channel. Until next time, see you soon.